This video is step 1 for your color scheme painting unit. This video will give you some of the basic information that you will need to get started. You're going to need all 3 of your boot camp papers with your name and class code at the top of each. Today your goal is to paint all of your pure hues. Well, what is a hue? Most people, sometimes even the pros, get confused about this. Basically, hue and color mean the same thing. The words are general terms to describe the basic colors on the color wheel. The 6 pure colors we will be using are the 3 primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and the 3 secondary colors, orange, green, and violet. For us, pure means that you will not need to mix them to use them. These colors progress around the color wheel, and with these 6 colors you can literally mix an infinite number of colors. Throughout the boot camp activities, sometimes you will mix these colors with other colors, including white or black. All of the color mixing will be used to help you understand the different color schemes and how they are used in artwork. A color scheme is a choice of colors used in an artwork. Color schemes are used to create style and appeal in art. To paint all of your pure colors, you're going to need the following supplies. You're going to need a cup for water. Those can be found at the front sink. You're going to need a rag for blotting your brush. That can be found in bin 1. You're going to need a paint palette and a small amount of all 6 of your pure colors. Now, a small amount means that you're just filling the bottom of the well with paint. Less is more. You will not need a lot of paint. You're also going to need a paintbrush, also located with the palettes at the front sink. Now, it doesn't really matter in which order you paint your pure colors, but I'm going to go ahead and start with red. Now, I'm just dipping my brush into the paint, making sure that I have paint on the bristles. I'm then going to make sure that as I'm painting, I paint in the direction towards my body as I fill in as much of that square as possible. Now, you want to make sure that you paint as neatly as you can, but at the same time you want to make sure that this does not take forever. Now I'm going to go ahead and complete red on my color mixing boot camp first. I will then go through and complete red on my value and on my intensity boot camp. Now, I just got done with my last red section on my 3 boot camp papers, so now I need to clean my brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently swish the brush in the water. I'm then going to wipe the brush off. It should look like it is clean, and I'll test it on my rag. Now, the rag is going to soak up any of that extra water because I want to be painting with a relatively dry brush, but if the rag is also clean, I know that my brush is clean. I would then be ready to move on to my second hue. I'm going to work on orange next. So again, I dip the brush into the paint towards myself, making sure all the bristles are going the same direction on the brush. I'm not scrubbing my paper, I'm applying the paint on top of my paper. Painting inside those lines as neatly as I can. Your layer of paint should be relatively thin and even as well. Now, as I'm finishing up with my violet paint, again I'm painting in nice long brush strokes with my bristles all going the same direction. You can see the quality here that I'm expecting. Again, I'm doing this relatively quickly. However, you can see that I'm trying my best to stay inside the lines. Please remember that boot camp activities are practice. Yes, they are a grade, but they are practice demonstrating a certain skill, not necessarily your craftsmanship. So on my color mixing boot camp, I have all 12 of my sections painted. On my Intensity Boot Camp, I have all 6, and on my Value Boot Camp, I have all 6. Now once you are finished, you can see that I still have paint left. I will get a small piece of damp paper towel, put that inside my palette, and put my cover on. I will make sure that I have a nice clean brush. I will leave my brush, I will leave my water cup at the sink. I will put my rag with the dirty rags in bin 1, and I will put all of my papers in the drying rack. Now, if you have time, you could continue on right now. However, if you are done and you do not have time, you need to just clean up. Once you have all of your pure colors painted, you are ready to move on to video 2, which is your color mixing boot camp.